and what we believe to be the last time. We always have to say that because you never know. There could be late appearances here and there. But for the 400 hurdles, this looks to be it. I know he's run the national championships for a while. And 48.08. And I was curious. I watched this race. I was more curious to find this race and watch it than if he ran 47.08 because it's been a while since Warholm in a final has run 48 seconds. And I wanted to know, hey, how did this race actually transpire? How did he get to 48.08? Did he wait 1 second in the blocks to let everybody go first and then take off? Did he run 9 hurdles and then start skipping across the line? Did he do his typical Viking scream as he walked across the line? And it turns out he did none of that. He paced this out evenly. He ran this in a way that provided minimal embarrassment to his competition while also running, I would say, in second gear for him. He went out kind of quick, but then you could tell by the 200-meter mark that he was chilling out there and ends with a 48 low here, which you look at his post-Olympic performances of 47.3 and a 48.08. This is easy for him. This is way, way too easy for Karsten Warholm right now.
Yeah, at this pace, if he runs a few more races, eventually you and I would be able to compete with him because look at that. It goes 47.3, 48.0. He's probably going to run a 48 high next, and all of a sudden he's running 49s and 50s. Before you know it, he's going to be going up against Sidney McLaughlin and Dalil Muhammad, like a mixed gender 4x400 meter hurdle relay or something. I don't know.
I know we're recording this on NFL Overreaction Monday, but I'll just throw this to you. This trend, should we be worried about Karsten Warholm? Go.
We should be worried. Yeah, maybe. No, we should not be worried. I used to kind of be worried about Karsten Warholm because you bring up the stat that he tweeted out. This is his third straight season of being undefeated. And when you have such a long win streak, the pressure builds, and eventually you think it's going to crack. Like, you don't win forever. Like, eventually it ends. The odds of him never losing a 400-meter hurdle race for the rest of his life is very rare. I mean, he could pull it off by being like, all right, I'm never doing it again, and just do a different event for the rest of his career, which would be kind of bold. Be like, hey, that was perfect. But that's the only worry I have for something like Karsten Warholm in the next few global cycles. Not cycles, but global championships, is the pressure of never losing, right?
And here's the problem.
He's fit to run fast no matter what, but the question is he mentally fit to do a fourth straight season of winning, and then a fifth straight, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, and here's the problem. He happens to be in an event where the longest win streak of all time is Edwin Moses' 9 years of winning 122 races in a row. So the cost-benefit analysis here is pretty skewed in one sense, because if you're going to commit to trying to go undefeated, he's got to plan on doing this for 6 more years to get near Moses versus, I don't know, maybe he just prioritizes world records and racking up Diamond League wins. But do you think that's one of those marks that, like, do you see, I know unbeatable records are always a fraught discussion because nothing's unbeatable, but I mean, Moses, 9 years, 9 months, and 9 days, 122 races, including 107 finals. I'm reading from the Team USA bio here. Do you see anyone racking up in a track event a 9-year win streak?
Well, it depends. I mean, I wasn't around following Edwin Moses, but like, how many of those wins were legit wins? Like, and how many were like something like Karsten Warholm doing this, where you are clearly better than the rest of the field, so no matter what, you're going to win, so you're able to cruise. And like, if Karsten Warholm wanted to, he could probably put on 20 more 400-meter hurdles and like throughout a season, and just like, but if you're it and you run 49 seconds, get the win, move on. That's the question. Is like, a lot of these athletes now, they're running fewer times to against elite competition as opposed to more times against subpar competition. And I would love to know like how many times of those 100 plus Edwin Moses victories were legitimate, like against top 8 talent in the world versus, oh, it's an easy win. Or like Karsten Warholm showing up to the Stanford invite to run the 400 hurdles.
Yeah, I mean, he's on the circuit, though, is what I'm saying. He's on the circuit for 10 years. Were there some races where, he didn't run every single race, but if you're talking about 122 races over 9 years, averaging more than 10 races a year, obviously, 1980 he wins the trials, but then there's the boycott. They don't start doing world championships until 83, right? Which is he wins the world title there. Then you go into 84, wins the Olympics. Yeah, I think the biggest obstacle. I mean, Moses' streak is insane. It's incredible. He won those titles. He was out on the circuit for that long. I think that the biggest obstacle to it, as you mentioned, is the frequency of racing. Because like you look at some of these seasons, you pull up Moses's some of Moses's years. I mean, he's running 10, 15 times consistently in the late 70s and into the early 80s. So just that level of racing is not as common. And you have someone like Warholm, but then you also have someone like Benjamin. Is it impossible that Benjamin beats Warholm over the next couple of years? Absolutely not. It's just a number that always sticks out to me. 9 years. That's crazy.
So Carson has won 22 in a row right now.
So he just needs 100, and he's got it.
Yeah.
All right.
His
right around the
last
corner.
loss was at the Ostrava Continental Cup, September 8th, 2018. Got third.
I do like the fact that I bring up 100. I do like the fact that I bring up 122 straight wins, and your first reaction is, well, how many of those are legitimate?
Well, then, I mean,
it's 122. Even if 20 of them were not, you're still talking about 100 races in a row.
Yeah, but if 20 of them are not legitimate, like, then it's not, I don't know. You know what I mean?
No.
We don't like the sport is right. The scheduling is different then than it is now. It's different. So,
but I'm saying, say you didn't even, and a lot of these you didn't have major championships.
The competition's different. The depth is different. Like, was there a?
100%, 100%, 100%. It was different.
Wasn't a ride Benjamin chasing, Moses.
I'm just saying 9 years though. 9 years is Bolt didn't do 9 years. Kipchoge didn't do 9 years. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of time to stay undefeated. And you take world championships and Olympics out of it, just going through the Diamond League and being undefeated for that long is just something that I don't know. It's going to be a while.
Who was getting second in the Olympic final when Edwin Moses was running, and how fast were they running?
That's a question that I can pull up right here. So you want to look at like 84?
Sure.
So 84. I mean, it's not like his time. I mean, his times are really good. He ran 47.0.
Who was getting second? How fast was second?
Second. So he ran 47.75 at the Olympics. Danny Harris 48.13 for silver. And then if you go back to 83 and you pull up the World Championships, the inaugural World Championships, he ran 47.50. Harold Schmid ran 48.61. So he's ahead of his time. He's winning these races by solid margins.
Yeah.
Over the course of 9 years, there's definitely going to be races that you don't run where there was a chance someone could beat you. But all that being said, when you look at it with the benefit of history and you see that number, because we look at Warholm as this dominant figure who's come in the clutch so many times, and you said he's run, 22 in a row?
Yeah.
So he's got to get 100 more. That's just, I don't know. That's a long time to stay healthy and be out there and running that many races too. Anyway,
true.
Moving on.